in order to perform at your best professionally, you need to be performing at your best personally.
100%.
And that means that you have to work through your own crap. I'm an open book. Look at all of these things, yada, yada. So nobody's looking in your closet.
Correct.
Like you're distracting them.
Yep.
God.
You get so stuck at the day of the Ironman that you think it's all about, it's just about finishing. It's about getting to that finish line, walking that red carpet. When in reality, it's about that entire journey of the 9 months it took for you to train to make it to that day. And that day of the event is really just the celebration.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. My name is Sarah LeRae. I am a creative entrepreneur based in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is the UnNicheable podcast. This is a podcast for Chattanooga business owners by Chattanooga business owners. And I have a Chattanooga business owner right here, a very special guest today. Callie, you want to tell them who you are?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm Dr. Callie Lance. Chattanooga Sports Chiropractic Institute is my business. I am the owner and chiropractic physician, and I'm a solo practitioner. So it's just me, and I wear every hat in the practice. That's
fun. As someone myself who's a solopreneur, I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Every day is a different puzzle to put together.
Yes. You're wearing so many hats and okay, I'm an admin person right now.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor right now.
Exactly.
I can imagine that gets a little difficult. So tell us about how long have you been in business? Like what sort of clients do you see at your practice?
Absolutely. So in March, I hit my 7-year anniversary, so super excited about that. I specialize in endurance athletes, as I am an endurance athlete myself, but anyone that is looking to empower their athlete within and push their limits to be better.
That's awesome. So what kind of endurance athlete, what does that mean? I don't even, I imagine you go far.
Yes. So a lot of triathletes, whether they're doing the half Ironman or full Ironman here in town, or we have an amazing community of trail runners here in town as well. So a lot of the ones that do the 50Ks, the 100Ks, 100 milers, I also work with them since they're an underserved population.
For sure. I would imagine they have a lot of issues physically that you have to help them with.
Yes. So they are actually usually more in tune with their body, but a lot of times they are sidelined or not fully listened to and told to stop doing their activity, or because they can still run 25 miles, but they can't do their 50 miles that they were trying to do. And they're like, something's wrong, something's not right. Usually it's, well, you can still run 25, you're fine, instead of actually listening to their concerns and catching things early before they get really serious.
That is so interesting. And that's such a great point. I would have never thought about that because I get it, like having a background a little bit in medical stuff myself, that the medical system is designed to serve like acute needs for the most part. There's not a lot of it's preventative.
Sick care, not health care.
Yes, it is. It's sick care. So if you can run 25 miles, you're not sick.
Yes, correct. You're a little crazy. But.
Yeah, I totally, and that's awesome. You serve a population that's not, their needs aren't being met.
Yes, so I like to sit down and work with them and put the puzzle together to get them to that finish line rather than just telling them to stop because of the pain.
Well, and there's a reason they do what they do. And
Correct.
Telling them to stop is not...
It's not it. It's
not helpful.
It makes them worse usually.
Yeah, because that's I would imagine people who get into that kind of thing, it's more of a mental exercise almost than a physical. And so to take that away from them is in a way traumatic, I would 100%. Imagine. When you devote that much time to something, to say all of a sudden you can't do it anymore, it's
a whole lifestyle ripped away from you.
Yeah. So that's awesome that you're able to give them that back and work with them.
Absolutely. I love what I do, for sure.
It's really cool. So would you consider yourself a triathlete or an endurance runner or what?
I would. I'm back at the pack, or the party pace, as you will. So I'm not winning any medals, but I do participate and I still get out there and have fun with it.
That's awesome. And it's so great. So Chattanooga I love that you are so interwoven, and this podcast has really served, at least for me, I look at it as a very hyper local thing. I want this to be very Chattanooga-based. And Chattanooga is a little bit unique from a lot of other cities in that we have so many people who are like outdoorsy, not me, outdoorsy. And
We're going to make you an outdoors girl.
Oh, there have been seasons. There have been seasons of my life that I did run a half marathon once.
There we go. Crowd life.
I almost died. And it was at Disney World. So I wouldn't call it like
so crowded.
Roughing it.
I haven't done that one, but I don't want to be around that many people.
Well,
if I'm going to be honest.
It was a very fun race for sure. Like they have a DJ like every mile, like characters you can stop and like it was the whole thing. But yes, that first like mile and a half, you are literally just
shoulder to shoulder,
like you're
elbow to
just
elbow.
like fast walking. Like you can't.
There's no room.
No, there's no room. And I like, would you say a party pack person?
Party pace.
Party pace.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm not a fast runner.
We're
either.
getting our money's worth.
Yes. And at Disney, I don't know if you know this, but they have what they're called the balloon ladies.
Oh, yes.
And
they'll sweep you off the course.
Yes. Right? And you live in fear of those women. Live in fear. I remember we were in Magic Kingdom and I was just living my best life. Thought this was just the greatest thing ever. And I look back and I see the balloons.
Oh, no.
And I was like, panic. And yes. And by the time I finished the race, I almost died. Like I felt dead. Like,
oh my gosh.
I felt nauseous. I had to like drink 3 Gatorades and lay down for a minute. You're probably like, you probably did a half marathon last weekend or something.
No, not yet. I did do the half Ironman. That was 2 weeks ago.
Wow. How was that?
It was great. The swim was canceled, which I was very thankful for because the water was disgusting.
We've had so much rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was a great day. It was my eighth half Ironman.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Like to think I pondered at one point in time, maybe I'll do a half Ironman for like 30 seconds. And I was like, I don't know. I think I might die. If I can't even handle the half marathon at Disney, I don't know if I can handle a half marathon.
I feel better after triathlon events than I do after pure running events because you're using the different muscles. So it burns the lactic acid out a little bit more.
Break it up a little bit. And that's a cool thing too that's unique. I was going to say is that we have the Ironman race here.
Yes. And it's voted athlete's favorite pretty much every year,
Really?
or at least in the top.
I did not know
sold
that.
out. Yeah.
Because it's so pretty, I guess, here. I guess it's pretty.
And the city does show up, even though I know a lot of them hate us being there because it directs traffic, but it is an amazing city for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the scenic city.
Exactly.
I mean, that's...
Got to live up to the name.
Yeah. I did not know that. We were voted like the favorite in the Ironman.
It's sold every year.
That's so cool.
And it was just the 10th anniversary.
I will say that Saturday, my husband and I were at Waffle House, and I could tell they just look like Iron Man guys. And I was like, I bet you they just did that Iron Man. They just, I was stereotyping.
You can always tell because they'll have some kind of gear on.
Yes.
That says Iron Man.
Yes. Everybody has to know. Which I mean, same. Like if I did it, I would wear a sticker. I would get a tattoo probably that I did it.
I have fun.
Did you see? They get such an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You want to show it off. Oh my.
And it's part of the joke that it's like the inside crew.
Oh, yeah.
And we make jokes about it. Like, no one asked about my Iron Man today when I wore my shirt. Can you tell that I did this Iron Man?
There's a couple other examples of that, too. Like, how do you know if someo's vegan? They're going to let you know kind of thing. That's funny. I love it. So what kinds of things do you see that you help people with the most often?
Probably my bread and butter would be a lumbar disc herniation, or commonly referred to as a hot low back or sciatic issues. That just unlocks whole different aspects within the body that we can look at, different biomechanical issues. But that's also the most common that people are like, oh, low back pain, chiropractor, neck pain, chiropractor. So those are my hot topics. But then I see people with migraines, wrist problems, ankle stability issues, especially with trail runners. And so really any joint in the body I can treat, but neck and back are my most common.
Okay. You said Chattanooga had a big trail runner, like, sort of population, I guess.
Yeah, big time.
Why is that, you think? Because we have so many trails?
That trail running and mountain biking is pretty huge here.
Yes.
Chattanooga, yeah.
My husband is a mountain biker, or he was. So, we get old. He was hot and heavy with it for a while, and then he just kind of, one of those things.
Phases, come in waves.
But I feel like we are both a little bit that way. Like we'll be like 100% all about something.
Hyperfixate.
Yes. And then all of a sudden we just moving on to the next thing.
What's the next adventure we can go on?
Yeah. He loved mountain biking because his brain, my husband is very smart, and his brain operates very fast. And I feel like mountain biking was like a meditation for him almost, because he's like, he can block out everything else because he's only thinking about what he's doing on the bike. And so, whereas for me, like, I enjoyed it, like if it was an easy flowy trail.
Right.
But if otherwise, number one, I'm very klutzy.
Same. I do not mountain bike.
Yeah. Like endo over the handlebars, like multiple
Instant.
times.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just living in a constant state of anxiety. Like
straight white knuckle.
Yes, literally. Like my hands would cramp up, and I'm like, I can't go anymore. My hands are killing me. He's like, just relax. I was like, okay, yeah.
That's not in my vocabulary.
Helpful. Thank you. But yeah, so mountain biking is fun. So what's your background? Like, how did you come into this field?
Into chiropractic.
Yeah.
So I've been an athlete my whole life. I've done a little bit of everything, but volleyball, soccer were my two big ones. And then in college, I did rowing or crew at the University of Cincinnati, because I'm originally from Ohio. And so I competed in the Head of the Hooch that's here in Chattanooga, which is how I originally found Chattanooga. And so when I was graduating chiropractic school, I wanted to move to Colorado or somewhere with the big outdoor aspect. And Colorado was way too expensive for me and way too many chiropractors. So I remember Chattanooga, came here on a road trip and fell in love with the city and moved here and opened up my practice from scratch. But I've always wanted to be a doctor and have my own practice. But I wanted something that was still active and really focusing more preventative versus, like we said earlier, the sick care. I don't always want it to be about the pain, but how can we get you to reach your goals, or how can we get you to be better than whatever you think you can do?
Yeah.
So I came into chiropractic, funny enough, because I was treated by a chiropractor and I hated it. And I went to a physical therapist and they actually helped me. And I felt like the chiropractor just did the same thing every time, never really listened to me. And we make jokes about it in the chiropractic world called the Flying Seven. But when I realized how wide of a scope chiropractic actually has and how much quote unquote freedom you have, that you can act in any way or serve in any way in any field and be that voice of reason for your patient. So you can be the one that's taking the x-rays. You can take the time to actually sit down and listen to your patient and their concerns and what they've tried before, what works, what doesn't work, rather than a lot of times they come in and they're a number and sent on their way.
Yeah, like you get to choose how you want to practice.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to be how everybody else does it.
Correct.
So you feel like you do it a little bit differently, would you say?
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that like preventative aspect is what makes you different, or what do you think sort of sets you apart from other chiropractors?
I think more as a sports chiropractor, I do more of a movement-based versus always being hands-on. So when you're coming into me, I'm trying to find the tools that you can take home and take accountability for yourself rather than having to come into my office every time. What can I do to give you the lessons that you need to help stay out of pain or get better versus having to come and rely on me to get you better?
I think that's such a great service, but that's also such a smart business decision. I think in the business and entrepreneur world, we talk so much about niching. And so even within the chiropractic niche, there are like sub niches.
Yes.
And so finding what, hyper niche sort of works for you can really be beneficial.
Yes.
In any business. And that sounds 100%. Like it applies there too.
Makes going to work a little easier if you're working within your niche of what lights your fire and what lights your passion.
Yes. And so what really kind of lights you up, and then also like you're super knowledgeable about this, specific problem area. If you see the same thing all the time, like a specialty kind of thing.
Exactly.
Versus going into some like, other kind of, provider that doesn't see a lot of distance runners, may not know that this is really common in in this particular sport or whatever.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see what else. What has been your biggest surprise in business ownership? What's something that sort of took you by surprise in your practice and your business?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because chiropractic school does not teach you business.
Right.
So it's something you have to learn on your own.
And most chiropractors are business owners, I would imagine. Like sometimes people work for a practice, but I mean, every chiropractor I've ever met had their own practice.
Yeah. So sometimes you can do an associateship and work under someone for a few years and then grow out onto your own. But there are a good handful of us that go right from school and jump right off the cliff and hopefully our parachute opens. But it's a lot of kind of the same thing as treatment. So you put together a plan, and of course, nothing ever goes to plan. So you have to be really good at adaptability and flexibility so that you don't just immediately panic when things don't go right, but you try to find the little switches to turn on or turn off that will change the outcome.
So just to be flexible. Yeah. I mean, for me, my problem is, at least in business, not my body for sure, but in business, I'm a little too flexible sometimes. Yeah. I find myself wanting to pivot. Yes, I'm hypermobile. Hypermobile. Yes, I find myself sometimes I wonder if I give something enough of a try or enough time before I'm like, okay, this isn't working. Let me pivot to something else, because pivoting is important, but it's just so hard to know.
The practice of patience.
Yes, I'm not a patient person.
Welcome to endurance sports where they force patience upon you.
Yeah, good point. That's a really good point.
Yes.
Maybe that would be a good mental exercise for me to get into some kind of endurance sport.
Well, really any exercise is. So even weightlifting or swimming or even just going out for a walk, it's still a practice in self-discipline, and it's a practice in patience of doing it enough and staying consistent enough to see that your hard work pays off.
Yes, that is a real struggle for me, like personally. And I'm actually really in therapy. I feel like I bring this up on this podcast all the time because I really do believe, though, to be a good entrepreneur and business owner, in order to perform at your best professionally, you need to be performing at your best personally.
100%.
And that means that you have to work through your own crap. And that means that I feel like going to therapy has helped me in business, a lot, because I'm having to process, okay, so I'm pivoting too soon in my business. Why is that? How can I work on, self-discipline? Why do I have shame around not having discipline? That's, shame is like the buzzword in the self-help world.
For sure.
Brene Brown, do you ever listen to her?
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic.
She's the best.
Her invulnerability as well.
Yes. And I'm like, I think of myself as a vulnerable person because I think of myself as being very open book. But I find that
they're two very different things.
Yes. And I had a guy, his name's Justin Schumann. I've talked about him on here before, I think, but he's a TikToker and he's like a social media influencer, but he talks about, being yourself online, which is really hard, because when you're a business owner, you have to be on the internet.
You are the brand as well.
You are the brand. You have to be.
Yeah.
And so kind of getting more comfortable with that. But I did like a one-on-one with him, and he was like, I think you might be like, I'm an open book. Look at all of these things. Yada, yada. So nobody's looking in your closet. Correct. Like you're distracting them.
Yep.
God.
Don't call me out like that.
I know. And so I'm like really trying. I didn't even realize I was doing that. But I am guilty of that. And so I'm trying to work on it. It's a work in progress.
I'm proud of you for working on it. And keeping open to the different opportunities that those talks bring. And especially doing this podcast, people bringing things up and you're like, wow, that's such a light bulb moment.
Yes. And that's what I love about this. Real talk, this podcast started as a way for me to just meet business owners in Chattanooga and network, because I really wanted to do more photography and videography services, which is my job. I'm mainly a wedding photographer and boudoir photographer now. And over the last year, I've been working with brands and businesses doing content, YouTube production, and then branding photography, all of that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, this will be a good way for me to network and meet people and all that. But I'm finding that this is becoming a little bit of a passion project.
Yeah.
Just sitting people down, getting to know them, getting to know their stories, and having a real conversation, but in a way that feels authentic because we're not just like, I hate networking, honestly.
It feels so fake.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Forced.
Yes. And I get the idea of like networking events. There's just something about going to a networking event and us all pretending to be interested in each other's lives when we know that we're all there just to see if anyone can use my products or services. And so it's like, I just feel like if we were a little bit more upfront about it, maybe I would feel better about it.
True. Rather than playing the game.
Yes.
But then that's also your mindset of going into it. So
Right.
if you go into it and act authentic, then your authenticity will come around and you will attract the
people.
Person,
and I feel like in the wedding industry, advice that I've given other wedding photographers, because it's something that served me well, was, I found wedding vendors that I genuinely liked and like wanted to be friends with.
Yeah.
And so that networking felt so much more authentic because I wasn't doing it just because like she's a wedding planner that could throw me clients. It's because I genuinely like this person.
Yeah.
Or this venue or whatever. And
building relationships.
Yes,
it's
real
huge
ones.
In networking, yeah.
Yes. And so I think there is a literal bird trying to break into the podcast right now.
It wants to be on the podcast. It was liking our conversation.
The bird was like, I want to network with you.
Yeah. I actually hate birds. Fun fact.
Fun fact. I used to be terrified of them.
They're gross and creepy.
Yes.
Because of things like that.
And they're really smart.
Yeah.
But I will say, I got addicted to this YouTube channel of this woman that had all these parrots. And I low-key wanted a parrot. But they're so much work.
So much work.
And it's really sad because they're very emotional.
Yes.
And like kind of like sociopaths.
Yeah.
I get the creepiness. I get it. I like wild birds. Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, I had a point. We went around and
authentic.
Around. Oh yeah, authenticity with networking. And so I think I need to shift my mindset about it.
We're doing great.
There's literally somebody, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, authenticity and networking. So I think maybe I need to shift my mindset around when I go to these kinds of events and think of it as more of like a meet and greet instead of trying to make as many connections as possible. Like I just want to make a few like genuine ones and not, just here's my card.
Yeah. Or change the events that you're going to.
Yeah, maybe that's it too. Like maybe it's the vibe of particular events.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something important to your business, networking?
Big time.
Do you do anything intentionally for that or?
Yes. So kind of going into the niche aspect was getting involved in the Chattanooga Triathlon Club, became president because I'm also a perfectionist. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right and go big. But I also do BNI, so Business Networking International, and have been in that group, the same group for 7 years since I moved here. But then trying to go to things that I also enjoy. The chamber was great to start and did Leadership Chattanooga, highly recommend for business owners. But it's a great stepping stone. So where you can start making those connections, because a lot of people go to them, then finding that more authentic pathway to get to where you should be versus being in a big room with a lot of cards being handed at you. Find the ones that will fit where you want to go or your stepping stones that you need and make those more authentic and follow up with them and then go down that route and be led to where you need to be.
And I like what you said about knowing your hyper niche really helps narrow down how to find your people.
Yes.
And when you're living, I feel, just talking to you, I feel like you are passionate about what you do and your purpose and passion is very clear.
Thank you.
It's
probably a little intimate, or not intimidating, but overwhelming. Let's get better.
No, I love that. That makes running your business so much easier when you have a very clear mission and vision and a very clear idea of where you're headed and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes, because I think it's easy for you to be like, oh, so for chiropractic school, well, I can treat anyone. Right, you can. And anyone will walk through your door, but knowing what to ask for, especially for word of mouth referrals, or to just have fun at work rather than feeling like it's a job, but actually more of a passion project or something that doesn't burn you out, you have to find what brings you joy or what is the problem that you want to solve. What solution do you want to be?
Yeah.
And going down that route will help you find your niche. Because yes, you can work with anyone, but what is really passionate about.
Did you have any fear that when you kind of went that direction, did you have any fear about, is there enough distance runners that's going to sustain my business, you know?
Well, I'm really good at worrying and stressing myself out and spiraling mentally. The whole therapy thing, big thing for business owners.
Yes.
Plus, it's like your therapist is your boss, if you will. So it's someone that can mentor you and help you with ideas and feedback professionally and personally. But side note, yes, the fear is there enough? Am I good enough? Do I know enough? Because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Right.
But that's kind of part of the fun is you're always challenged to put the puzzle together or challenged to find the proper path for your patient or for the person you're working with.
Yeah, I definitely struggle. I've said the reason this podcast is called UnNicheable is because I have considered myself unnicheable. That's one of the reasons that it was like kind of fit. I mean, it fits because I have people from all kinds of different businesses that come on as guests. But I just felt like that fit me because I hate the concept of niching, even though I 100% respect and recognize that it is effective and a smart business decision. Because I don't like to be like nailed down. I get a little panicky when it's like, oh, well, you're just going to do like this one thing. And it's like, well, I like to do a lot of things. You know what I mean? It's just hard for my brain. Maybe my niche is not niching.
Flexibility and adaptability.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Hey, I like that. I'm going to write that down and talk to ChatGPT about it later. That's another thing that I do a lot.
I haven't gotten fully into that yet.
Discussed once with a friend. I was like, if I had to come up with like a catchphrase for a lot of my experiences in life, it would be like, let's make it work. We got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's made me good at wedding photography is because you don't, there's no do-overs. Whatever you're dealt, you have to quickly figure out how to make it work.
Right.
Because that's just, it is what it is. And being like a creative problem solver.
Yeah, big time.
You have to figure it out.
Coloring outside of the lines.
Yeah, which is a struggle with my husband because he's like, I used to say that he comes to a speed bump and it's a roadblock. Like he just cannot. He's a perfectionist, so he's like, if we can't do it perfectly, we are not doing it. And I'm like, no. We got duct tape.
Got WD-40 and duct tape. That's all you need.
We can figure it out. Like, I can YouTube anything. Exactly. And he's like, no. So, I mean, there's balance. It's good 100%. For a relationship, I guess. What's your favorite part about Chattanooga?
Well, the reason I moved here is because of all the outdoor space. And so all the mountains, the greenery, the river, the opportunity to go 5 minutes and be able to camp in the middle of nowhere, which with all the building, it's a little harder to do nowadays.
Yes, it is.
But
it's growing.
It is just such a relaxing and calming environment, especially when you're out of downtown. But even downtown, it has a cool, like, funky vibe.
Yeah. Now, where did you say you were from?
I am from outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Cornfields, USA.
I was going to say, like, is there anything in Ohio that's like, scenic?
Cuyahoga Falls is pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
But it's like amusement park. So Cedar Point, Kings Island. Yes. I
was just actually looking at Cedar Point. I was like,
highly recommend.
Like, is it crazy to plan a vacation to Ohio? But I really want to go to Cedar Point. It's on my bucket list.
I mean, that's like the number one amusement park in the world.
Yeah,
I think.
I love a good theme park.
Don't fact check me on that.
No, I think you're right. I think that's why it's popped up on my TikTok feed.
Oh, it just opened for the season.
Well, and
new rides.
I'm a big Disney girl, but Universal just opened their new park, and so I'm planning a trip for my husband and I. So I've been researching all this theme park stuff.
Fine. The algorithm be algorithm.
Yes, it's scary. But that's the thing too. Going back to like niching again is the algorithm. Like sometimes you're scrolling and you're like, wow, like how did that speak to me so clearly? And it's like, well, because the algorithm rewards
interaction.
Yeah. And so when you can really speak to your ideal client or customer very directly,
Yep.
that's really going to resonate with them.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to show up in their algorithm more.
Yep.
And more people like that.
Right.
I think that's one of the reasons why this sort of concept of hyper niching has social media, I think, has.
Oh, they funneled it for
yes,
sure.
It has
Almost
caused
too
it.
funneled.
Yeah.
Because you almost can't get out of it then once you're in it.
Yes, attention is a currency. And so they are doing everything that they can to keep your attention for as long as possible.
Going deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Little Alice in Wonderland.
Lord, I'm like, how long have I been on? Like, like sometimes you're just like, wow, this has been.
It just drains.
And I had no idea that I had been on there for that long.
Right? I think 5 minutes is really 30 minutes. And you're like, where did the day go?
Yeah. And you're not outside breathing the fresh air and which I think is something we all should do. It's
also
super healthy.
Your anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and also, it's the comparison game.
Oh, big time.
That I
Definitely.
find, yes, I find
Which
that
then plays a role in your physical health too.
Yeah, 100. Like, 'cause you hold trauma in your body, you hold stress in your body and anxiety. So I could see how like you could be a big help doing what you do to people like that for sure. Because when I know that when I am scrolling too much, my anxiety definitely starts to creep up. And as a business owner, I feel like I will make this sort of excuse like, oh, well, I'm scrolling to see what other people are doing. I'm scrolling to figure out what my next post is going to be or find trends or whatever.
Yep.
But then you just end up getting in a really negative headspace because it's like, well, this person's doing that and this person's doing that.
I should have thought of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I don't think that I struggle with the comparison game when it comes to physical things. Like, I don't look at other girls on the internet and I'm like, oh, I wish I had her hair or her body or her whatever. I don't look at people's cars or homes and think I wish I had this or that or the other. Like, it's not that kind of comparison game, but I definitely look at other photographers, other business owners, and I'm like, they're working harder than me. And then you get into this like shame spiral.
Yeah, I'm not doing enough.
I'm not doing enough. Look what look what they're doing. I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
And that's just not good for your mental health.
Because just like all social media, it's just a peek inside the curtain, not their full story.
Yes. And everybody's story, something I've learned as I've gotten older and trying to embrace is like everybody comes from a different place and everybody had different tools handed to them from birth and going forward. And so comparing yourself to someone else, like,
it's just not going to be a thing.
It's not helpful. It's just not helpful.
Different journeys for different pathways.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay to be on the journey that you're on, even if you feel like you're a little bit behind or whatever, because that's something I struggle with.
Oh, yeah. I feel that.
You feel a little bit behind, but you may have started further back than where other people started.
Or there's different reasons that you're on that pathway. There's different things that are going to be brought into your life, or you're on your way to impact someone else's life where the other person is not doing that.
Yeah.
They're impacting other people.
I don't remember where I saw this recently, but it was like, try to think of it as you're not behind, you just haven't got to the shortcut yet.
Yeah.
So like, you're going to get there. You're going to get to the same destination as everybody else. You're going to hit the goal. You have to believe in yourself that you're going to hit the goal. So even if it feels like you're a little bit behind, you can catch up.
Yeah.
There's always opportunity to catch up to where everybody else is or even ahead of them.
Yep.
So just believing in yourself that you will get there and you will get to your goals is something that I am gaslighting myself into believing.
Well, there is actually a big thing in endurance sports, and especially when I did my first full Ironman, that you get so stuck at the day of the Ironman that you think it's all about, oh, well, it's just about finishing. It's about getting to that finish line, walking that red carpet. When in reality, it's about that entire journey of the 9 months it took for you to train to make it to that day. And that day of the event is really just the celebration. Yeah, it has its own obstacles and things to overcome, but look back at the sacrifices that you made to go for a 6-hour bike ride on a Saturday. How many connections did you make with other people because they came on that bike ride with you? And that whole journey and what you learned about yourself versus the day of, because it's kind of a blur of shenanigans and all things related with Ironman, but it's about the journey and not the destination.
Yeah, and I love that advice that's such a great parallel with endurance sports, because you put in so much work and everything leading up to that day, and you've grew as a person.
Yep.
You grew as an athlete, like, during that time. That's what it was about.
Correct.
Because life is not about just that one day. It's about how you spent all the days leading up to that.
Yep.
I love that.
And the day of the event is just the celebration, or it's the show of it versus what are you doing when no one's watching.
Yeah, which is important. Like, it's important to celebrate your wins and your accomplishments. And so I love that we have things like the Ironman for that reason, that make it sort of all the pomp and circumstance and all that. So, because that is a big accomplishment, be able to celebrate that. Because I know, some of us aren't great at celebrating ourselves.
Very much so.
So it's a good thing. Anything else you want to share?
Mainly just an event that I'm going to be putting on. So it's the 3rd annual Furry Scurry Fun Run or Walk. And this year we are benefiting Warrior Freedom Service Dogs, which is a nonprofit here in town that provides and raises service dogs for veterans in need. But the Furry Scurry event is November 1st, and it will be at the River Park, Chickamauga Dam. And you can either do the Husky Hustle 5K or the Dachshund Dash 1 mile. Run or walk, dogs are welcome. And so the whole point of it is to empower your athlete within in the outdoors with the best partners in the community.
Girl, I have 3 dachshunds.
I love that.
I love that.
Yes.
Maybe I need to do the Dachshund 1 mile.
Yes. Come on out. It's a great day to just celebrate you, celebrate the pups, of being great companions that have helped many people through many different ways in life. Plus, they're really good at celebrating you.
Yes.
And just to go out, have fun, and then we'll have a after party at Naked River Brewing.
How fun. I love that. And I love that it's for like a good cause.
Yes, I'm super excited to have been introduced to Warrior Freedom Service Dogs.
Yeah, that's such an awesome thing. I mean, I have 5 dogs altogether, so obviously
yes,
I'm going to be there.
I love that. November 1st.
November 1st.
So it's going to be a great day.
For sure. That's going to be so fun. I'm just envisioning my dachshunds. My Trigger, he'll run. He would run with me. But Gunner, he's fat.
He's like, put me in the stroller.
He's lazy. He is lazy, and he's the baby, though, and he knows he's the baby. And then my third dachshund, Gracie, she's old lady. She actually is the one that goes in the stroller.
I love that.
Sweet
baby.
She's a sweet baby girl. She's 14, so her running days are over, but
it's okay.
She's a good girl.
Hey, any kind of movement is still medicine.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Thanks, Callie, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We will have all of her information in the description where you can find her, go visit her, and all the fun things. But thanks for joining us. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.